most people using Claude Code are leaving the best part untouched because they are still prompting manually. They are re-explaining context and getting inconsistent outputs every single time. And the whole time, there's something right inside Claude Code that handles it for you automatically without you even asking. I run a 6-figure AI consultancy, and these are the 5 skills I'd install on any Claude Code setup. I'm going to go over what they do, where to get them, and exactly what happens when you trigger them. Anyways, let's get into it. So what are skills in the first place? Well, skills are basically files that are stored inside your Claude Code instance or stored on your computer that your Claude Code instance or any other agent platform instance calls upon on. And those files are basically specific instructions on how to carry out specific tasks. So you can think of them like domain expertise. That is basically it. Most of the time they are straight up markdown files, but sometimes they do include scripts and stuff like that. And in the 5 skills I'll be showing you in a bit, some do include markdown files, some do include scripts as well. And if you're looking for a place to get skills that may not be listed in this video, you can go to this website called skills.sh, and it's basically a directory where you can get unlimited amount of skills. So just search up the skill that you'd like to teach your Claude Code and basically get it. For example, let's say this front-end design skill. Once you get it here, you can copy it right here and just paste it inside your terminal, and the installation instruction is straight to the point. And once you have that, it is automatically invoked by Claude Code or the agent platform that you're using, or you can tell Claude Code on the agent platform to call upon or invoke the skill. And another way that you can get skill is by actually creating one yourself. You can tell Claude Code, let's say if it has done a task extremely well for you, you can just tell it to turn this task into a skill, because Anthropic has a skill that turns what you maybe have done or what you have explained into a skill, basically. So it's a skill for creating skills. And starting with the first skill I'll be showcasing today, it's actually the front-end design skill, because it improves the UI output that Claude Code creates, because most of the time it's quite bad, and I'll show you the difference. So let's head over to our Claude Code instance and let's try this out. So we're going to tell Claude Code to create a website for us without the front-end design skill and with the front-end design skill, so you can see the difference. So I'm going to paste in this prompt here, which is basically a detailed prompt for creating a landing page or a funnel page basically. And here you can see we are explicitly telling it to not use the front-end design skill. So I'm going to send this over and leave this on edit automatically, and I'm going to open another conversation and tell it to actually use the front-end design skill. And now it's going to go ahead and create both, and once it's done, we're going to compare and see how both looks. So it just finished, so let's give it a test. And you can see this one did invoke the front-end design skill, and if we were to come here, this one did not invoke the front-end design skill. So the one with the front-end design skill is the focus flow landing. And if you open it, actually, you know what? Let's open the one without the front-end design skill. So let's open it with live server right here. Let's give it a look. Okay, not bad. This definitely looks good, but there are still some areas that could be improved upon. But overall, pretty neat. But you can still tell that it has that AI vibe to it. Not bad. So now let's give the focus flow landing one, which is the one that used the front-end design skill. So let's give that a look and see. Damn, immediate difference. This looks way more professional. It even feels smoother when scrolling. It feels way more premium on top. Okay, definitely better. You can see that is the difference between using front-end design skill and not using one. You can see the difference is actually night and day. And if you've ever thought about turning AI stuff like this into actual income, that is actually what I help people do. I work with them one on one, and there's a link in the description below where you can hop on a call with me, and I'll map out your whole roadmap to actually making income with stuff like this. So click the first link in the description and I'll see you on the call. So now the second skill, and this skill is actually a skill that I made myself. And what it does is that it actually turns your repetitive workflow into an agent skill. So imagine, let's say you send outreach or you scrape leads and then do research. So imagine all that process done manually would obviously take a lot of time. So what this skill does is that it takes that and it automates it into an agent skill that can be invoked anytime. Let me quickly show you how it works. So let's come over here. Let's open a new chat. Let's close this. And let's say I want you to use the workflow automator skill and automate my workflow for me, because I scrape leads, then I research about them, then I save them on a Google Sheet before I do outreach. So I would like the whole process automated, please. So basically describe your workflow. Even if you do not describe it, it is going to basically ask you much more questions to actually discover how your workflow is and actually what needs to be automated. And you can see here it invoked the workflow automator skill, and right here we are in the phase 1 discovery. You see the description that I gave you here wasn't even enough, it wasn't even in detail. So it is asking me again to walk it through my manual process step by step. You can see specifically where do you collect the needs, what data do you collect, what kind of research do you do. For Google Sheets, what kind of column do you save, and outreach, what type of outreach do you do. And on top of that, if you also have a written SOP, that's even better. So you can just drop your written SOP and it's going to go ahead and automate the whole workflow for you. So I'm going to go ahead and explain our whole workflow and I'll show you the end result. And you can see it just finished, but we do have to set up our credentials. And the good thing about this is that we can always ask it if we're lost on not knowing where to get the credentials from. However, I have gotten mine. I've added them in the .env example right here, and here is my Google service account JSON. So I'm just going to tell it right here. So I have added my API keys inside the .env.example, and also here is the Google JSON. I've also added it in the credentials folder too as well. So now I'm going to go through, add the credentials in, and it's going to test it out, which you can see here. It asked to just test it with a small batch to see if everything is actually ready to be used. And it also came across an issue because it realized that the JSON that I did provide was for Google OAuth, not for service accounts. So you can see, having a technical partner by your side like Claude, even if you come across issues, you don't have to be technical. It just fixes it for you right there and then. And you can see it just fixed it. And I'm just going to tell it yes, and now it's going to go ahead. And you can see here it's testing it with a small number of leads. And you can see here it just finished running and it gave us a link. So let's try and open that link in our Google Sheets and let's see what that looks like. And voila, we have our t-test lead script with the business name, phone number, website, and also email with a personalized cold email to send. And that is basically my workflow automated right there. And then, well, now the third skill is actually a comprehensive one in the sense that it covers the whole marketing department. If you need an SEO skill, there's one for you. If you need a CRO skill, there's one. If you need content and copy skill, there's multiple for each function. You can see here for paid ads, there's also another one. For referrals, there's another one. For sales and go-to-market strategies, there's one. And for strategy, there's also one. And today, I will be showcasing the launch strategy, which you can come here and basically copy this and install it like I showed you. And if you need access to all the skills, you can find them all right here. You can see there are a lot, and there's also a one-click install that installs everything for you. And I believe the install is right. The install is right here, so all you have to do is just copy this and it installs the whole marketing suite for you. So now for the product that we created, which if you close here, the focus flow product, we're going to tell Claude Code to use the launch strategy skill and create a launch strategy for this product. And we also have the product description right here, which we created based on the website. Could you please use the launch strategy skill, use the product description directly to create a launch strategy for me for this product, please? Send it over. I'm going to read product description, which you can see here, and now it has just invoked the launch strategy skill, which we are witnessing right now. And you can see here it asks you a variety of questions: where you want to launch, if it's going to be an influencer type of launch or a product hunt type of launch. I'm just going to tell Claude to come up with synthetic data. It just finished, and we can find the launch strategy right here. And if we were to actually, let's say, overlap this and see the whole launch strategy, we would find the focus flow launch strategy, or the synthetic assumptions that I came up with, and the channel strategy using the ORB framework, which you can see here, using email list, blog, and landing page, and week by week warm-up sequence as well, including blog posts published and also rented tile for amplification, which you can see everything stated for you right here. And obviously, if you do not like how the ND file looks like, you can come here and search for Markdown viewer. All you have to do is just paste it, and you can see a clear picture of it right here, which looks way more appealing to the eyes compared to the Markdown document, and much more clear. And that is basically the marketing skill. And remember, it's not just limited to launch strategy. There are lots and lots of skills covering different aspects of marketing, which you can see here. So now the fourth skill, which is what I like to call the discovery skill finder in a way. And this skill was actually made by Vercel, and what it helps you do is that it helps you find skills. So now it's going to help me find a skill, because right now for the product, let's say, that we've been working on throughout this video, we've created the landing page. We have also found a way to script leads for that product. On top of that, we have created a launch strategy. So now I'm going to ask the skill finding skill to find me a skill to create a launch video. I already know what skill that is, but I just want to show you the capabilities of it. Could you please use the skill finding skill and find me any skill related to creating videos, like launch videos? Over. It just invoked the skill, and now it is searching for video creation skills. So let's see what it comes back with. I know what I'm expecting for it to come back with, and yeah, it already found it, but let's see what that is. I can see here it gave us a variety of options to go with. These ones, and also these ones right here, and these ones right here. So the one that I'm familiar with the most is the remotion best practices skill, which you can see right here. And the use case for this skill finding skill is, let's say you're lost and you would like a domain expertise for what you'd like to get done. You can just call upon the skill and it is going to find one for you, which you can see right here. And it also gives you the installation command. So all you have to do is just copy this, open your terminal right here, and just paste it and run it. So that is the fourth skill. So now the fifth and final skill is actually the most shocking one, because it is actually a video editor, or you give Claude Code the ability to become your own personalized video editor. And this is basically the remotion best practices skill. And it can do a variety of things. You can see it can add captions, audio visualization, sound effects, also visual effects, which I'll be showing you in a bit. So what you're going to do, if you do not have this, you can obviously copy this and install it like I've showed you. I'm going to open another chat or should I say another conversation, and tell Claude to use the emotion best practices skill and create a launch video based on the product description.nd. Send it over. See, first of all, it's reading the description, then now it just called upon the emotion best practices skill and going to read the files from those skills. You can see it covers variety of things from animations to composition to text animation, transitions, timing, sequencing, and fonts. So it's the whole thing. You can see here it gives me a variety of options to choose from, and what I'm gonna go with is option C. I'm gonna tell it to make it look good. And another thing, because the way the emotion works is that it's actually based on a web framework, so you can even tell it to use the front end design skill to create a really good cinematic launch video for you. So I'm gonna tell it to use the front end design skill to make it that. We know my spelling, but it's just a hack that I came across on. So it just finished, so let's give it a quick look and see how it looks like. So this is also my first time doing it, so let's see. Straight. Okay. Looks really good, but then obviously it would require some sounds and stuff like that in the background, but then this looks really good actually. Looks quite similar to the UI in my opinion. Okay. Neat. Very neat and clean. Wow. So there you have it, 5 skills being the workflow automator skill, the front-end design skill, the marketing skill, the fine skills. On top of that, there is the emotion best practices skill, and also a bonus one was the skill creator skill. All installable today, ready to use, and you don't have to be prompting Claude all the time giving context and getting inconsistent outputs. Now you can get consistent outputs and domain expertise on the task that you'd like to get done. Now, as I've said, if you want to turn stuff like this into actual income for you, that's actually what I help people do. I work with them one-on-one, and if you'd like that level of support, you can click the first link in the description below and we'll hop on a call and I'll map out your whole roadmap for you for making an income from this. Or if you're still figuring out where the money is when it comes to AI, I actually made a video that you can go ahead and watch. I'm going to link it right now, and you can get a better understanding on what the AI opportunity is. Anyways, that's all from me today. I'm Ahmed, and I will see you in the next one.